Hello, welcome to part 2 of the M3 control arm adventure, I guess you could say. I've driven quite a lot on them, handling really good. You hear the expression, drives like it's on rails. Well, it's, yeah, absolutely true. The only thing it's not a problem, but the thing I'm not happy with that I'm trying to solve is that with the mod they recommend, or it is recommended, that you replace the lower control arms and the thrust arms or the radius arms or whatever you want to call them at the front, both with the F80 M3 parts, which I've done. And the idea of using the thrust arms from an M3 is to keep the wheels sort of centered in the arches, and that hasn't really happened. The wheels still sit quite far forward. So what I've done is I've ordered from Powerflex some bushes which have caster adjustment in them. So it's basically just that eccentric sort of setup where you turn them and it changes where the center is. So it'll bring the center where the bolts go through, in my case, back. So it'll, in theory, push the wheels back close to where they should be. So that's the plan. I've ordered those from Pelican Parts. California is the closest part of America to New Zealand, so they're usually pretty quick. They should be here. I don't think they've been sent yet, so should be here, I'd say within a week and a half, something like that. So that'll be part 3 of this series, so stand by for that. But for this part, I'll show you where the wheels are placed, and I'll go for a little drive and just talk about basically how stable this car is on the road now in the front end. I've got around a degree and a half of camber, which sounds quite extreme. That's getting close to, it's about an extra degree of camber, which is what they say you end up with, and that's getting close to M3 specs. Well, pretty bang on, I think, M3 specs. So that's kind of what you sign up for. So anyway, stay tuned, go for a little drive, and I've got my weekend attire on at the moment, so sorry if I look a bit scruffy. It's freezing cold this morning. The breeze has just dropped off, but it's getting into winter now, finally, in New Zealand. We've had constant sunshine and still getting 20 degrees in the afternoon, so can't complain. But today it's a little bit fresher, so I'm beanied up, hoodied up, and ready for a drive in my nice warm car. So stay tuned. So you can see, hopefully, how close this is, and as it comes around here, just catching here, pretty marginal. And these wheels did sit kind of far forward before anyway. I don't think there's an even gap between the front and the back. I think there's always a little bit more at the back. From about here it's usually quite even around the wheel. So yeah, they're definitely sitting further forward. I'll start it up and straighten the wheel just so you can see where it sits or how it looks. It's quite apart from sometimes just when you're turning, probably depending on if there's a bump when you're turning or something, you can sort of hear it brushing, and for some reason it's only on this side, or maybe I can only hear it on this side, I'm not sure. But I'll start the car up, straighten up the wheel and let you have a look. So you can see that the wheel's sitting kind of far forward. Aesthetically, some people might absolutely hate that, and kind of does make me twitch a little bit, but not terribly. Just, you know what it's like when you get something that's different and you kind of have to get used to it. But those bushings or bushes, whatever you want to call them, that I'm going to be putting on the front of the thrust arms and rotate the bushing, or the centre of it, so it should in theory just push that wheel back enough. And I have got some other wheels which I'll show you in a minute, which I'll be putting on this car, so hopefully it's all going to work perfectly. Sort of a thing that you rabbit hole that you go down when you do a modification sometimes is a flow-on effect, and you have to address each little problem that you've created. So this is the other side, and yeah, it's pretty much the same. You can just see where it's just been rubbing. Get that torch out of the way, sorry. Just rubbing so close. And what we did was I've got spacers on this car, all certified of course, which is the case in New Zealand. You have to have certification for wheel spacers and for the coilovers as well, which I've got. But you can just see in there's the tip of the thrust arm, and that's what the new bushing will go in. Probably in these ones, I think. I was thinking of swapping out to the originals with the new bushing in, but I think I'll press this bushing out and press the new one in, or my independent mechanic will. I haven't got the gear to do that sort of thing, so and I'm not scrambling around underneath the car past doing all that sort of thing. No way, no more. So I'll show you the wheels. Come into my studio. So in case you don't know, and you follow my videos, I'm an artist. I've got a trade as well in the carpet world, and I haven't really painted that much this year for some reason. I don't really know why. I've been doing too much hard work on the flooring, and when I'm not doing that, I've been mucking around with my car. So these are the new wheels, which I've renovated from scratch. I had them media blasted way back. They were curbed. One of them had a slight crack, which I've had repaired by an engineer, and I've repainted these, and I'm 90% happy with them. So thing is they're 19s, so I will put tyres on that are going to work with what I've got going out there on the car. So I'll be putting, I think, 2 3.5s and 2 5.5s on, and I'll keep the profile on the front ones just tiny little bit less than what's on there now, so it'll help with that that caster problem as well. So I'm looking forward to getting these on the car later on. I've still got enough tread left on my tyres to not really justify the expense of new tyres at the moment, so I'm just going to keep using mine for a while. Open the gate, close the gate. We've got a dog, and it's not socially adjusted, so keep the public out. First thing you notice after this mod, or first thing I noticed, was the steering feels heavier. Heavier in a good way, like there's more feedback. Feel like you're more in contact with the road. Before, with the stock suspension, or the stock control arms, which they were still, and still are, plenty of wear left in them. This car's done 100,000 miles now, but they were by no means, I mean, maybe they were a little bit tired. So with these arms now, basically it's just effortlessly going around corners. No wobble, no hesitation, no correction needed mid-corner. It just goes around the corner, as before, and apparently it's quite a commonly known thing with these F31s and F30s is the suspension is very soft in the front, and not much sort of, not really that great cornering, especially mid-cornering. So this is the answer, or one of the answers. There are other alternatives. You can just put mono balls in your stock control arms, etc. But this is the recommended path, or the path I had recommended by quite a few people independently of each other. So in the end I caved. Just when you say you're not going to do any more mods, you come across one that really does seem worth doing. Gosh, it's quite interesting because I'm going around the same corners that I go around a lot. My local road, I live rural, as you saw, and so I know these corners well, and the difference before and after is quite incredible. I've got, like I was saying earlier, I've got coilovers on this car. I've got them adjustable, height and damping. I've got the damping turned way down. It took me a while to figure that out, but I've got about 30 odd clicks for the damping, and I've got the front set on 5 or 6 at the moment, which is actually really comfortable, and the car just sits really nicely. So it's not oversteery, it's quite grabby, very little movement needed in the steering wheel to get it to go around the corners. Still good in a straight line, no tram lining to speak of, which can be a concern with the extra camber, but the tow is not crazy. I can't remember what the tow figures are. With camber about minus or negative 1.5. Yeah, it's all working together. I mean, I could just leave it exactly how it is now and it'd be fine. So really it's just the next stage is just to get that just to get those front wheels a tiny bit further back, and then I think it'll be perfect. I'll actually shift my camera, because I've only got one camera. It's all very budget. I'll shift my camera and I'll show you where I'm going. So this is coming into the lovely little township of Haingaroa, which is 10 minutes from home, I guess. It's very, a lot of kiwi fruit around here. This is the kiwi fruit capital of the world, this area, so if there's not kiwi fruit growing somewhere, there's avocados growing, and just the usual farming as well. You might see coming up on the right here, there's like a multicoloured sort of building, and there's a sign right there that says Comvita. That's Comvita honey, which is pretty famous around the world, and it's not just honey, but well, honey-based products. So yeah, if you've heard of Comvita, that's International HQ right there. Nice little cafe, little French cafe here on the left, trading post. Little shop, little superette, and a liquor store, and a bakery. So I've just done a big loop. Now I'm heading back toward. So with the other things I've done to this car, I've had the engine, because it's 2-litre diesel. First time I've owned a 4-cylinder 2-litre diesel, but I had it tuned, and I've tuned the transmission with XHP. It goes like a rocket, to be honest. But yeah, I can feel this road's quite greasy, so it's got to be quite careful. Feel a little bit more life in the steering, like the front wheels seem a bit more lively. It's going around a corner at 90 and the car's not even hesitating there. I mean, I'm very careful, because if you look through my other videos, you'll see that I had an E61, beautiful car actually, before this, and I rode it off not that far from here. I came around a corner, sun hit me in the eyes, couldn't see anything. My wheels clipped the grass, I lost control really quickly, shot across the road and smashed directly into a dirt bank, airbags and everything. So yeah, that kind of stays with you, that sort of thing. So yeah, even though I say this upgrade is confidence inspiring, not a license to be an idiot. You still have to know your car's limits, and those limits have kind of changed a little bit. I have to feel out. It kind of feels like a slightly different car, which is always good to get used to your cars before you become too relaxed, you know, driving. Just, you don't really know exactly how they're going to behave. It just corners beautifully now. Get that glare coming off the road, it's quite dangerous. This corner here It's got weird camber on it, drops off to the left. And feels better around that corner. Really conscious of that corner before. It's I've done something weird with the camber on it. It's probably for drainage, but not great for driving around on, which is kind of what a road's for. It's not a roof, it's a road. Hey, well, that's another video done and dusted for now. Thanks for watching. If you've got any questions, feel free to comment below. If you like this video, there's plenty more on my channel. There'll be plenty more coming up. I also do car stories about people and the cars that they own and drive. Usually not just ordinary cars, but cars that they've turned into something special or restored. So yeah, also if you're local to the Bay of Plenty or not too far from the Bay of Plenty in New Zealand and you've got an interesting car story, well, get in touch and check out my other car stories videos, and if you think you'd like to make something like that, well, let me know and we can talk. But yeah, so that's my catch-up video anyway on the M3 control arms. The wheel doesn't look outrageously forward. If I left it like that, you know, I'd be pretty happy. Thanks for watching, and see you in another video. Bye.